She shoved the keycard into the slot 3 times before it finally blinked green, and the door swung open so fast it almost knocked her backward. "Finally," Amara muttered, shifting the strap of her canvas bag higher on her shoulder. Her arms were aching. Marbella was supposed to feel glamorous. Instead, she felt sweaty, underdressed, and wildly out of place. She stepped inside and let the door click shut behind her. The suite was dark. Too dark. The air felt wrong, heavy, not like a room waiting for its guest. It smelled like expensive cologne and something metallic. She took one more step. "Don't." The voice was calm, male, close. Amara froze so fast her breath caught halfway in her chest. "Don't take another step," the voice repeated, softer now but sharper somehow. Lights flicked on. A man sat in a leather chair near the window, one ankle resting over his knee like he owned the world. A gun lay on the glass table beside him, close enough that he could reach it without looking. Her heart slammed against her ribs. She swallowed. "I think I have the wrong room." His eyes didn't blink. They studied her like she was a detail that didn't belong in a painting. "That would be unfortunate," he said evenly. "I'm supposed to be in 3191, she rushed out. "This is 3119, he finished for her. Silence stretched. She slowly raised both hands, palms open. "I'm an artist. I'm here for Costa art. I swear I didn't mean to walk in on whatever this is." His gaze flicked to her oversized bag. "What's inside?" "Paint, brushes, nothing illegal unless color counts." For a second, something almost like amusement touched his mouth. "Drop the bag," he said. She did. "Step back." She did that too. He rose from the chair, and the shift in the air was instant. He wasn't loud. He wasn't frantic. He was controlled. Every movement is measured. Up close, she noticed the tattoos slipping beneath the collar of his shirt. Black ink, sharp lines, stories she couldn't read. "Name," he said. "Amara Cole." "Why are you really here?" She blinked. "To show my work." "That is not what I asked." Her temper flared despite the gun. "I walked into the wrong room because I'm exhausted. My keycard barely worked, and I've been hauling canvases across marble floors that probably cost more than my entire student debt. That's why I'm here." His eyes held hers. She didn't look away. "You're not afraid," he observed. "I'm terrified," she said honestly. "But I'm also tired, so if you're going to shoot me, at least let me know why." A long pause. Then he reached past her, opened the door, and glanced at the room number. When he looked back at her, something had shifted. "You are in the wrong suite." "I know." "You're lucky." "Lucky," her laugh was shaky. "That's not the word I'd use." He stepped back inside and closed the door again. Her stomach dropped. "Why did you close it?" "Because now I am curious." "That's not comforting." He walked to the table and picked up the gun, not pointing it at her, just holding it. "My name is Jinwoo Park," he said. The name meant nothing to her at first, but the way he said it, like it carried weight, made her skin prickle. "Should I know who you are?" "In certain circles," he replied, "yes." "And what circles are those?" He tilted his head slightly. "The kind that does not forgive mistakes." She inhaled slowly. "Then it's a good thing this was an accident." "Is it?" "Yes." "You expect me to believe you simply walked into my private suite by mistake?" "Yes." He studied her face for a long moment. "I do not believe in accidents," he said finally. "That sounds exhausting." Another flicker of amusement. She gestured toward her bag. "You can check it. I'm not hiding anything." He moved first, crouching to unzip it. Tubes of paint, sketchbooks, a half-finished canvas wrapped in protective paper. He lifted it carefully, surprising her. "You handle it like you know what it is," she said quietly. "I respect precision," he replied. He peeled back the paper, just enough to see the painting. A woman's face stared back at him. Dark skin, Gold leaf cracked across her crown like it had been broken and repaired. "What is it called?" he asked. "Stolen crown." "Why was it stolen?" "Because beauty gets displaced," she said. "Taken, misunderstood, hidden." He looked up at her. "And you," he asked, "are you displaced?" She hesitated. "Aren't we all?" Silence again, but this time it didn't feel like a threat. It felt like recognition. He set the painting down carefully. "You can lower your hands," he said. She did, flexing her fingers. "So am I free to go?" she asked. "Yes." He didn't move to open the door. She narrowed her eyes. That didn't sound convincing. He walked past her toward the balcony doors and slid them open. Night air rushed in, cool and sharp. "Come," he said. "I don't think that's a good idea." "I am not going to kill you, Amara Cole." "You sound disappointed." "I am not." She surprised herself by stepping forward. The balcony overlooked the sea, black water stretching endlessly under scattered city lights. "You chose this hotel for the view?" she asked. "I chose it for privacy." "That's ironic." He leaned against the railing. "Tell me about your father." She stiffened. "That's random." "I had you look up while you were standing in my doorway," he said calmly. Her eyes widened. "You what?" "I prefer information." "You ran a background check in 5 minutes." "Yes." "That's insane." "It is efficient." Her pulse raced, but not entirely from fear. "So what did you find?" "That you were supposed to become a lawyer." She exhaled slowly. "He wanted stability, I wanted color." "And you chose color." "Yes." "At what cost?" She met his gaze. "Everything." The honesty hung between them. "My father wanted obedience," he said quietly. And I killed the son he designed." Her chest tightened. "Killed." "Not physically," he said. "I killed expectations, weakness, dependency." "And replace it with what?" "Power." She studied him carefully. "And does it make you happy?" "Happiness is not a priority." "What is?" "Control." She nodded slowly. "That sounds lonely." He didn't answer. A breeze lifted her hair across her face. Without thinking, he reached out and tucked it behind her ear. Her breath caught. His hand lingered for half a second too long. "You should not be here," he said softly. "I know. And yet you are." "Because you closed the door," she whispered. His thumb brushed her cheek. "You are not afraid enough," he murmured. "Maybe you're not as terrifying as you think." His jaw tightened slightly. "Do not mistake restraint for softness." "I won't," she said. Their eyes locked. She felt it before it happened, the shift. The tension changed shape. "Why did you really let me stay?" she asked. "Because you looked at me," he replied. "That's it. Most people look away." She stepped closer without fully realizing it. "I don't." "I see that." The distance between them was thin now. "If I walk away right now," she said softly, "does this end?" "Yes." "And if I do?" "It begins." Her heart pounded. "You're dangerous," she whispered. "Yes." "And honest." "Yes." She inhaled sharply. "That might be worse." He almost smiled. "Dinner," he said suddenly. "What?" "After your exhibition tomorrow. Dinner with me." "You just met me." "I am aware." "You threatened me." "I corrected a mistake." She shook her head slightly, disbelief mixing with intrigue. "You don't even know if I'm good company." "I know enough." "You're very confident." "I have reason to be." She searched his face. "And if I say no?" "I will respect it." "You don't seem like the respectful type." "I am selective." She hesitated. "Why me?" she asked. "Because you walked into the wrong room and did not beg," he said. "Because you speak about broken crowns like you understand them. Because you did not flinch." Her pulse thundered. "Your trouble," she whispered. He stepped even closer. I am, he agreed. And then he kissed her. Not rushed, not careless, slow, testing. She should have pulled back. She didn't. When they separated, her breathing was uneven. This is insane, she said softly. Yes. And I'm still supposed to see you tomorrow. Yes. She swallowed. You assume I'll say yes. You already have. She stared at him, then laughed under her breath. You're impossible. And yet. He stepped back finally. Room 3191, he said. Down the hall, this one is 3119. I noticed. He walked to the door and opened it this time. As she stepped into the hallway, he spoke again. Amara. She turned. Wear something unforgettable tomorrow. Her stomach flipped. The door closed. She stood there for a long second, trying to steady her breathing. If this is your first time on this channel and you're already feeling the tension, make sure you like this video right now. Trust me, this story is only getting started. Amara walked down the hall to the correct suite, her pulse still racing. She had walked into the wrong room. And something inside her knew. That was no accident. The gallery lights were too bright. Amara could feel them on her skin as she adjusted the sleeve of her black dress and forced herself to breathe. The room buzzed with low conversations, champagne glasses clinking, polite laughter layered over quiet judgment. Costa Art International was everything she'd imagined. Money, influence, eyes that measured worth in seconds. But her mind wasn't on the collectors. It was on the door. Relax, her curator, Sophia, whispered beside her. They love your work, 3 red dots already. Amara nodded. That's good. That's incredible, Sophia corrected. You're trending tonight. Trending. Her heart should have been floating. Instead, it was racing. Because she knew he was coming. As if summoned by the thought, the sound in the room shifted. Not louder, just heavier. Conversations dipped, heads turned subtly. Amara didn't look at first. She felt him. Then she did look. Jinwoo Park stepped inside like he owned the floor beneath his shoes. No flashy entrance, no dramatic gesture, just got a quiet command. 2 men followed a few steps behind him, both scanning the room without appearing to. Her pulse kicked hard. He wore a dark suit tonight. Clean lines, no tie, no effort to blend in, yet somehow invisible in the way predators are. Their eyes met across the gallery. He didn't smile. He didn't wave. He simply held her gaze like it was deliberate. Sophia leaned in. Who is that? Amara swallowed. Someone I met. That's not just someone. I know. Jinwoo moved slowly through the space, stopping in front of her paintings one by one. He didn't pretend to be interested. He was interested. His focus was too sharp to fake. He stood before exiled majesty. The fractured gold crown, the woman staring forward like she refused to bow. Amara walked toward him before she could overthink it. You came, she said quietly. I said I would. You usually keep your word. Yes. She glanced at the 2 men lingering nearby. You brought company. I do not attend public events alone. You don't trust people. I trust patterns. People are inconsistent. She crossed her arms lightly. You're not exactly blending in. I am not trying to. A collector brushed past them, offering Jinwoo a cautious nod. He returned it with the faintest tilt of his head. You make people nervous, she said. They make themselves nervous. He studied painting again. This one. Her breath hitched slightly. What about it? It belongs with me. It's not for sale. He turned slowly to face her. Everything has a price. Not this. Why? Because it's the first one I painted, after I stopped trying to please everyone else. He held her gaze. So it represents defiance. Yes. I appreciate defiance. That doesn't mean you get to own it. Silence. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. Then paint me another. She blinked. What? Create one that tells the truth about last night. Her stomach flipped. That's not how commissions work. I am not asking for technique, he said calmly. I am asking for honesty. And what exactly would that look like? You tell me. Before she could answer, a sharp voice cut in. Mr. Park. They both turned. An older man in a tailored gray suit stood stiffly beside them. Silver hair, tight jaw, forced smile. Jinwoo's expression didn't change. Laurent, he said evenly. Amara felt the shift immediately. You weren't expecting that, Laurent said. I rarely am. Laurent's eyes flicked toward Amara, then back to Jinwoo. This is an art exhibition. Yes. Our investors prefer stability. And yet, Jinwoo replied calmly, they thrive on volatility. Laurent's smile thinned. We value discretion. As do I. Amara looked between them. Do you two know each other? Laurent answered too quickly. We've crossed paths. In what capacity? She pressed. Jinwoo didn't look at Laurent when he answered. Influence. Laurent cleared his throat. Miss Cole, perhaps we can discuss your upcoming residency. I'm in the middle of something, she said quietly. Laurent's eyes sharpened. Be careful who you align yourself with. Jinwoo's gaze slid to him, cool and precise. Are you issuing a warning? I am offering advice. I did not ask for it. The tension snapped tight. Amara stepped forward. Enough, this is my show. Both men looked at her. She felt her pulse pounding in her ears, but refused to back down. If either of you plans to turn my exhibition into a power contest, she said firmly, take it outside. A beat of silence. Then Jinwoo inclined his head slightly. Of course. Laurent forced a nod and stepped away. Amara exhaled slowly. What was that? History, Jinwoo replied. That didn't feel like history. That felt current. It is. She studied his face. Are you using this gallery for something? He didn't answer immediately. Amara, he said quietly, the art world is cleaner in appearance than in practice. That's not an answer. It is the only one you need. She shook her head. You said you were honest. I am. Then be honest now. His jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. Money moves through many industries, he said. Art is one of them. Her stomach dropped. You're laundering through galleries. I did not say that. You didn't have to. Their eyes locked. Does it change what happened last night? He asked softly. Yes, she said immediately. He nodded once, accepting it. Good. Good, she echoed. I prefer clarity over illusion. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. You're dangerous in ways I don't fully understand. Yes. And you just walked into my world like you own it. I walk into every room like that. That's not attractive, she said, though her voice wavered. It is not meant to be. A silence stretched between them, thick with everything unspoken. You should hate me, he said quietly. I don't. You should. Maybe I don't see people as categories. And what do you see me as? She hesitated. A man who built power because he didn't want to feel powerless again. His eyes darkened slightly. That is close, he admitted. And lonely, she added. He didn't respond. Voices rose around them as more guests entered. Sales were happening. Cameras flashed. Applause broke out somewhere behind her. She glanced at the red dots multiplying beside her paintings. You're distracting me, she said softly. From success. From clarity. He studied her carefully. Do you want me to leave? Her heart thudded. No. He nodded once, satisfied. Then do not ask me to be smaller, he said. She exhaled. You're impossible. And yet you're still here. She looked at exiled majesty again. You can't have that one, she said quietly. I know. Her head snapped toward him. You're not going to argue. No. Why? Because it is yours. Something in her chest tightened. I thought everything had a price. It does, he said softly, but not everything is for me. The words hit deeper than she expected. Across the room, Sophia gave her an enthusiastic thumbs up. Another painting sold. Amara turned back to Jinwoo. Walk with me. They moved toward the balcony doors at the far end of the gallery, slipping outside into the cooler night air. City lights shimmered below. This is reckless, she said. Yes. I don't know what happens if people connect us. They will. That doesn't scare you. No. It scares me. He stepped closer, not touching her this time. Then walk away. She stared at him. I don't want to. Then understand what you are choosing. And what is that? A man with enemies. Her pulse skipped. How many? Enough. That's not comforting. It is truthful. She folded her arms, fighting the surge of emotion rising in her throat. Why me? You could have anyone. I do not want anyone. That's not romantic. It is accurate. She laughed softly despite herself. You're terrible at this. At what? Normal conversation. I am not normal. That's obvious. Silence. Then quietly, I thought about you all day, he admitted. Her breath caught. You don't seem like the thinking about people type. I am not. But you walked into my room and did not tremble. I was trembling, she said, just internally. I saw your eyes, he replied. They were steady. Her chest tightened. I don't know how this ends, she whispered. It does not have to end. That's not what I meant. He stepped closer, finally brushing his fingers against her wrist. Then say what you mean. I mean, if I let this happen, I can't pretend I didn't know. You will know. And you won't change. No. And I won't either. I do not want you to. Her throat tightened. I build beauty from broken things, she said softly. And I build power from chaos. That's not exactly compatible. Maybe it is. She searched his face. If I step into that car with you tonight, she said, I'm choosing uncertainty. Yes. And if I do, you return to safety. She exhaled slowly. I've never been very good at choosing safety. A faint flicker of something crossed his expression. Not triumph, not relief. Respect. Inside, applause erupted again. Sophia burst onto the balcony, grinning. Amara, you sold 5 more, this is huge. Amara blinked back to reality. That's amazing. Sophia glanced at Jinwoo, clearly wary, then back at Amara. We need you inside. I'll be right there. Sophia hesitated, then nodded and went back in. Amara looked at Jinwoo one more time. Dinner, he said simply. She nodded. Dinner. As he turned to leave, she caught his hand briefly. If this explodes, she said quietly, don't lie to me. I will not. He walked away without looking back. Amara stood there for a long second, heart pounding, then returned inside. By the end of the night, almost every painting had sold. Except one. Exiled Majesty remained untouched. She stood in front of it as the crowd thinned. Not for sale, she whispered. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She answered. Ready, Jinwoo's voice asked. She glanced at the painting one last time. Maybe this is a terrible idea, she said. Yes. She smiled faintly. Pick me up at 5. She ended the call. And before she walks toward that car, if you're feeling this tension, if you're wondering whether she's about to step into a love story or a war zone, make sure you like this video. Comment what you think happens next, and subscribe so you don't miss what comes after this night. Because sometimes the wrong door doesn't just change your evening. It changes your life. Amara grabbed her coat, took one steady breath, and walked out to meet him.